then we will also know what should be the reasons for your faithfulness. So today we are dealing with 5 reasons why you should not be faithful to your husband. 5 reasons. If any human being becomes the purpose for your faithfulness, you will surely fail. If any human being under the sun becomes the purpose or the reason for your faithfulness, you will definitely fail that person. There are certain reasons intrinsically as humans as we are. They are inbuilt. Those things will definitely let you down. If that person, if your wife or your husband is the reason why you are being faithful, mark this down. Number 1, there are 1,001 reasons why you will cheat on your wife or your husband. The person, nobody even deserves your faithfulness or your honesty. No one deserves it. Many people have failed trying to please people. Couples have failed trying to please wives. Church members have failed, pleasing pastors in as much as they've tried. Children have failed pleasing parents. Parents have failed pleasing their children. Just because we are trying to please each other. And I'm telling you that no matter what you do, it will not be perfect. Bosses at work have been disappointed their staff. Friends have disappointed friends. Why is this like that? Meanwhile, it was not their intention to disappoint. They were doing everything wanting to please the people, wanting to be in the good books of these people. So why am I saying here today that we are dealing with 5 reasons why you should not please your husband? You should not be faithful to your husband. Don't try to be faithful to your husband. No. Wives, please, you too, don't be faithful to your husband. Wives, don't be to husband. Husbands, don't be faithful to your wives. And this is the point number 1. People will not appreciate your act of faithfulness. You know, human beings as we are, most of the times it becomes a bit kind of either difficult or impossible for people to be faithful to others. I don't know, but then it looks like that is maybe just how people are. Or if that's not how people are, there's something about humanity that causes human beings, to disappoint. You know, human beings will always disappoint if they are doing things on their own, using you, another human being, as the reason why they are being faithful, they are being nice. So people promised love, husbands promised, wives promised. Some even took, I remember back in the day, some would do blood covenant and do all sort of things. But at the end, you will see people that have done blood covenant looking for somebody to try to reverse the covenant. Why? Because they could not hold on to their commitment. Neither could they hold on to even the oath they have taken. Point number 2, the people you are faithful to will even cheat on you to break your heart. You see, the very people, the very husband or the very wife you've been pushing yourself to be nice and to be kind to, that person is going to end up disappointing you. In as much as you are not even texting other women or texting other men or chatting them, people have come with better offers to you as a woman, better offers to you as a man, and you've tried to stay away from all these offers just to be faithful and kind to your partner. But what happened? You will one day land on a text message, a voice message, or Facebook Messenger, or some form of information that will disappoint you. So don't try to be faithful to your wife, or don't bother stressing yourself to be faithful to your husband or your wife. No, it's not worth it. Point number 3. They also offend you in other ways to deserve your cheating. The people you purpose that I'm not going to cheat of my husband, I'm not going to cheat of my wife. The very people you try never to cheat on, those are the same people that will cheat on you. So you hear most women say, "Oh, I trusted you. I gave my all." Yes, you gave your all. Yes, you trusted him. But he doesn't deserve your faithfulness. She doesn't deserve your faithfulness. If you are counting on them to be faithful, you'll be disappointed because they will cheat on you and say it was the first time. They will give you good reasons why they will cheat on you. So don't be faithful to your wife. Don't be faithful to your husband. That is number 3. So point number 4. You will not use cheating to pay them back. So be faithful to them so that you will not use the same cheating to pay them back. Because most times when you try to be too faithful to your partner, your wife, husband, fiance, whatever, the more you try to be faithful to them, the higher the possibility of you using the same thing you are keeping to please them. You might end up using the same thing to pay them back one day, because you feel and believe, and it is, that faithfulness is one of the highest level of commitment you can give to your partner. That you don't cheat on the person, you don't text behind the person, like you don't do anything that will affect the credibility of your relationship. So you are trying your best to be faithful to your partner, to be kind, to make sure that the relationship is very enviable, attractive, and beautiful. But then I'm telling you, if you are using those people like, oh, my husband is this, so I want to be faithful to him, I can't do this to him. Your wife is this, that, so you are going to be faithful to him, to her. Trust me, if that is she or he is the reason for you being faithful, then one day you might end up using the same thing you are being using to be faithful to them. You use it against them. So you pay them back for the same acts that you've been trying to protect them with. And I want to tell you, don't make any conscious attempt that I want to be faithful to him or I want to be faithful to her. Trust me, because you will successfully fail. You will fail trying to please your husband or your wife. And the last point, which is point number 5. Point number 5, it says, if she or he is your reason for your faithfulness, you will struggle to forgive them when they offend you in a similar manner. Okay? If he or she is your reason for your faithfulness, then you will one day be frustrated because you will struggle to forgive them if they offend you in similar manner. So never be faithful to your partner, to your wife or husband. Never try it. No, don't do it. So someone will ask me, then if we should not be faithful to our husbands and our wives, what are you talking about? What should we then do? This is what we should be doing. I'll tell you. There's one reason why I'm telling you you should not do this, and I'm telling you what you should be doing. What we should all do is that we should remember that Malachi 2 verse 10 says that have we not all one Father? Has not one God created us? Why then are we faithless to one another? Why then are we faithless to one another, profaning the covenant of our Father? Why are we faithless to one another? Why aren't we faithful to one another? And whatever we are doing is doing something to profane the covenant of our fathers. You see, our fathers have a covenant with God, and that covenant is that we will keep the standards of God clean and appropriate. So are we all not from the same Father that we are sinning? We are doing these things to break the covenant. Why? Why are we doing profane things? Why are we cheating? Why are we doing things? This is the reason. The reason is what we are going to be talking about right now. What I was trying to say here, which I want to let us understand as the last point, is that Malachi has said this. So let your faithfulness be unto God only. Try this. Make sure that your faithfulness is neither to your husband nor to God, but that your faithfulness, neither to your husband nor your wife, but that your faithfulness will be only unto God. Faithfulness to God is faithfulness to your partner. But then the main thing is that you take the object of your reason from your wife, your husband, put your wife or husband aside, and be faithful to your God that you serve. If we can all be faithful to God, I tell you, we will be able to get to the bottom of what we really intend to do. Because in that sense, all the 5 points we've already discussed, if your wife disappoints, you are not going to pay her back with cheating, because your faithfulness was not to reward her, but your faithfulness was to be in the good records or is your act of worship. Bible says that therefore offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, for this is your reasonable act of worship. So if you are a believer, your reasonable act of worship is that you be faithful unto God, not faithful to your wife, and then you keep God aside, but rather turn the poles around. Let your faithfulness to be unto God. If it is unto God, then I tell you, most definitely the faithfulness you are giving to God will affect something reasonable. I'm going to tell you this. Make sure that you understand that the byproduct of faithfulness to God is faithfulness to your wife, faithfulness to your husband. And this generates a happy relationship, and it generates a happy home, and it creates happy children. But if our faithfulness is to God, is to your husband or your wife or your partner, your fiance, it short lives, because those people, I'm telling you, like I said at the beginning, there are always 1,001 reasons why you should cheat on your wife. I'm telling you, there will be 1,001 reasons why you should cheat on your husband, because he doesn't deserve it. Trust me. If he or she has not also cheated to cause you to cheat, she may have spoken to you in a way that you think, look, I'm gonna do this. And it gets to a point where that thing, that valuable part of the relationship, is what you are going to use to pay her back or pay him back. So you may end up pushing yourself to the point where you are going to be using that same act that you used to another person. You will use it against the person, and you trying at the beginning not to cheat on her, you get to a point where you will become the cheat, just because you are using that to pay the person back. So I want us to get this clear, that you should try to let your faithfulness be unto God. And the other thing is, faithfulness to God, like I said, is faithfulness to your partner. So make a Christian out of your partner. Trust me, we are speaking as Christians. Make a Christian out of your partner. Make a Christian out of your wife before you even say I do. Try to make a believer out of him. Try to make a believer out of her, because Bible says even yokes will not work. I was listening to a program just yesterday, and one guy has babies with a lady who belongs to a certain religion, and the guy wants to marry the woman, but that religion is saying that they would rather let the man leave the daughter alone with the 3 kids rather than allow him, being a Christian, to marry that lady, because they don't even accept that uneven yokes will come together. They don't agree that the guy from Christianity will marry their daughter who comes from that religion. They agreed to that fact that they won't let it happen. To marry their daughter, you must switch into their religion before you can be, an in-law even onto them. So I want us to understand this, that it is better. You will get a lot of peace of mind as a wife, a peace of mind as a husband. If your husband is faithful to God, he can travel around to any country in the world and you will still be comfortable. Why? Because you know that his faithfulness is not unto you, so you don't need to be present for him to be faithful to you. But your husband or your wife's faithfulness, it is to God. If it is to God, then you agree that you don't need to be present for him to be a good husband. You don't need to be there for her to be faithful to you. You agree to this. And this is why, if there is anything we should desire, crave for our homes, our families, in our relationships, in our weddings, in any event, it is that we make a Christian out of our partners, so that your partner's faithfulness, you don't even claim that you want her to be faithful to you. You don't want him to be faithful to you. You let him be faithful unto the God you both serve, because both of you agree and understand that God is everywhere. He sees everywhere. He knows everything. So if he wants to be faithful to God, then in essence, you will benefit from the byproduct of your partner's faithfulness unto the God you serve. This is what we have to understand. You see, and so you get into a point where if this understanding comes really well in the marriage, in the relationship, in the fiancé stage of your relationship, you will grow to a point where your understanding will be that if your partner cheats and you are talking to him, you are not going to say what we used to say in the past, that, oh, so you are cheating on me. Don't use that word again. Never say you are cheating on me. Rather say you are destroying your Christianity. You are cheating on your God, and your God sees this. So if your husband, your wife even believes that you don't deserve him or her to be faithful to you, if he or she is going to say that you too did XYZ, that's how it always end up. Oh, I cheated because she also did this. I cheated because he also did this. But then if the reason is that you are doing this to your Christian life, you are doing this to your God, then the person can sit back and go like, okay, now I know that it's rather between me and God. If it's rather between myself and God, then I better fix this. I have to do something about this. You see, but then if our reason is that I cheated on my husband, you cheated on your wife, then remember, your partner, the person that cheated, is going to tell you reasons why he has to cheat on you, reasons why she has to cheat on you. Oh, you did not do X for me, you didn't do Y for me, you also speaks to XYZ, you also do XYZ. And these will be the reasons why at a point in the marriage, this one will go haywire, the other one will go the other way. And then some marriages, I think I've heard of marriages where the husband, bounced away, cheated all his life. The wife was also cheating, and they both converged after years to try to do the right thing. Is this what we want? This is not what we want. Remember, however we are living our lives, we are also living to please God. We are living, and it's about our Christianity, because like I said, therefore Bible says, offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, for that is your reasonable act of worship. Worship is not singing slow songs or not just showing up in church. It's that you have dedicated yourself unto God, and it is your reasonable act of worship unto God. And God will bless and honor you for being that faithful child, that faithful man to Him. And what will happen if I am a faithful husband, or your wife is a faithful wife, or you are a faithful wife and your husband is a faithful husband? Both of you will benefit from the byproduct of your faithfulness unto God. And that, like I said, will give you a happy partner, a happy relationship, a happy family, happy children, and you yourself will have a happy life. May God bless you as you've heard this. God bless you as you share this. God bless you as you subscribe to the channel. Send your comment at the bottom of the screen. Let us know what you also think about this topic. 5 reasons not to be faithful to him or to be faithful to her. Share your thoughts, but don't forget to share the program to somebody. God bless you, and see you next time. Bye-bye.